Viva Las Vegas, the land where it is stated, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah, that can hold true for certain things, but when it comes to a cyber attack, that's going to follow you all the way home. One threat actor was able to bring two major conglomerates to their knees with a ransomware campaign. The companies took two different approaches to solve their problems. Come with me while I show you the attack, who was behind it, how the companies handled the situation, and how their decisions affected them. Let's begin at the attack itself. The attack occurred on September 11, 2023, and it targeted MGM Resorts and Caesars Entertainment. The attack was not technically complicated though. It consisted of a couple of phone calls and some messages to the help desk. MGM Resorts, which consists of the MGM Grand, Mandalay Bay, Bellagio, Luxor, and the Aria hotels, are the first targets we will be discussing here. The attack was so large that it caused a massive shutdown of entire casino floors. The guests were further affected as their hotel room cards were being rendered useless. They couldn't get into their rooms. It was also reported that slot machines were down for the organization. They were using pen and paper to take reservations, and they were not able to even get to their website. It was also found that the initial access vector in which this threat actor used was just a combination of smishing and vishing against the organization's help desk and tech support. This means that the attackers would conduct a series of calls or online chat messages to the tech support, claiming to have been locked out of their account or that they needed their password reset. The mastermind behind this tactic of the smishing and vishing, I think it was best described by Palo Alto, is that the stories were devised to be just plausible enough to be completely believable without tripping the security's spidey senses. They would use stories such as, oh, I've been traveling, I've just come back from vacation, I need my password reset because I've just been gone, I don't have access to my computer, can you please reset this for me? Now, the second target of this attack was the Caesars Entertainment organization. It was discovered that the initial access vector for this group was also due to a social engineering campaign on a third-party tech support company that Caesars Entertainment used. What came next for both of these organizations was that the attacker used the Black Cat or ALPHV ransomware on their network systems. This would encrypt everything on their file system so they could not have access to anything. They couldn't get into their emails, they couldn't run their normal operations. These organizations were hemorrhaging money as their primary source of income is the gambling. And when people can't gamble, they can't use your service, i.e., you're not making any profit, things are not going well. And they were threatening to release the data that they had encrypted to the public. This is a common threat by ransomware attackers. It provides a little extra motivation and extortion to pay the ransom. The way that these organizations responded were polar opposites, and for one, it cost them much more than the other. Caesars Entertainment kind of accepted defeat, and they knew that they were beaten, so they just paid the ransom. With this, the threat actor held true to their word. They decrypted the data, and Caesars was up and running again. It was fully operational. They did not suffer major public outages, they had their systems back up, and they were making money again. Now, on the other hand, the complete opposite approach, MGM Resorts did not pay the ransom, and they continued to suffer outages for days after the attack occurred as they could not recover. So how did this affect these two conglomerate organizations? As can be imagined, after any major cyber incident, MGM Resorts' share price took a massive hit immediately after the attack. It was also reported that the gambling giant was losing approximately $8.4 million a day due to this outage. It was reported, and MGM still claimed, that they had shut some of their systems down due to contain the quote-unquote cybersecurity issue as far as 3 days after the attack. As for Caesars Entertainment, regardless of the fact that they paid the ransom, the company's share prices still dipped significantly immediately after this event. The only positive result of them paying it was that they didn't suffer the major public outage MGM did, and they were able to get their systems back up and operational. So now, the moment we've all been waiting for, who was actually behind these attacks? This attack has been attributed to a threat group known as Scattered Spider. This threat actor has been deemed to be social engineering experts from both the FBI and CISA. If you don't know, social engineering is taking advantage of and manipulating people or a situation to get a result that the attacker wants. This can be getting a user to click a malicious link, an attachment in an email, all the way to calling someone as a fake employer and trying to get personal information out of them. Social engineering is an extremely common practice, as the biggest vulnerability to any company is actually, well, people. The group has been said to be more successful than other groups as they are fluent English speakers and they can craft their messages tactically to get exactly the information they need without giving away that they are probing people. This group has been active since at least 2022 as reported by MITRE, and their targets of interest include customer relationship management, business process outsourcing firms, BPOs, telecommunications, and the technology sector. Now, since the success of the Vegas attack, the group is seen dabbling into other fields such as gaming, hospitality, retail, MSP, manufacturing, and the financial sectors. The group does have alternate aliases, and they have been known to also go by Roasted Octopus, Octotempest, Storm 0875, Star Fraud, UNC 2944, Scattered Swine, and Muddled Libra. The group has two primary pieces of custom malware that they are attributed with, and those are Black Cat, which are also known as ALPHV, and Noberus. This malware is the primary ransomware that was used during the attack, and this channel will go into a low-level analysis on it in the next 2 weeks. The other malware attributed to the group is Warzone Rat, which is a remote access Trojan that the group uses to maintain access once they get into the network and onto a system. This video isn't going to go into a full breakdown of TTPs, who they are, what they do, and all of their campaigns. That will be put out at a later date. As for right now, this was simply a clarification of the attribution to this Vegas ransomware attack that was conducted by Scattered Spider. If you like this kind of content and want to see more, please subscribe to the channel. We're dropping bi-weekly videos as well as dropping 1 to 2 shorts a week. Thank you for tuning into the video. Again, if you want to see that low-level analysis on the Black Hat malware, come back in 2 weeks and that'll be dropping. Until then, stay